This is The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Hello, good people!
Football weekend.
Football weekend. Welcome to the Odds Couple Thursday edition of the large program. Glad to be with you. It is week 20 of the football season here in year 6 of the Odds Couple. We're glad you're with us for this special edition of the program because we are talking Final Four in the college football playoff, which starts tonight. We are talking NFL playoffs, week 1 of the NFL playoffs. Looking forward. What is this one weekend called?
20.
Wildcard Weekend?
Weekend 20.
Is it Wildcard Weekend? All right. Wildcard Weekend in the National Football League. We'll talk about that. We have picks on the show. We got free picks coming up at the end of the show.
I love free picks.
I love free picks. We got Nuggets.
Free.
And what else we got? Oh, the top 5 NFL playoff quarterbacks.
Top five, not five.
NFL playoff quarterbacks. We got that coming up on the program as well. I'm Rob Fisher. Lang Whitaker is alongside.
Rob.
Hello, Lang. How are you?
I'm great. Getting ready for this Snowmageddon.
Oh, the polar vortex.
Coming. Wintry mix. Little wintry mix coming at us.
Are you prepared? Did you go to the
reading-
grocery store?
I did, yeah.
You did?
I do think that I am actually very well versed at stocking up for a storm.
Yeah.
Because I lived in New York for a long time, so I had, even in New York, people stock up, not quite to the extreme they do here, where they buy all the bread and
And the
milk.
storms here last like a day and a half.
Well, the problem is the storm here lasts a day, but then nothing works for 5 days.
That's
You know, like the power goes out, you can't drive
That's
anywhere. Like it might only snow for like 6 hours, but it affects you for a long time.
Right.
So you got to like have the food capabilities for a lot of that. So I did a lot
Boil
of shopping.
water.
Boil water.
I hope we don't have to boil water. My God. That's the one thing I asked the mayor about. He was in studio, and it's like, do you have anything to ask the mayor? And I'm like, when can we never have to boil water again?
I actually haven't. I know. I actually did some intel on this. I spoke to one of the guys who owns one of the breweries here in Memphis. And you know, the reason there's so many breweries in Memphis is because the water goes through an aquifer, and that's why it's so good. But the problem is that means like it's all underground and old pipes and stuff.
I thought it was
So
just because we have a lot of hipsters.
that might be it too. But yeah, so it's all the thing that makes the water good is the thing that makes it where it's problematic when it freezes. A lot of other cities, bigger cities, New York, places like that, have water towers.
Right.
We don't have those.
We do not have the
So
water
we don't have
towers.
water
So it's
towers.
underground. It freezes, expands, pipes burst.
Boom. There you go. Problems. Yeah.
It's not actually the pipe bursting; it's the stuff coming back into the pipe.
dirt stuff.
You don't want stuff coming
No.
in the pipes.
John Roser, how are you? Are you ready
What's
for
up?
the polar vortex?
You know what? The city of Memphis says they're getting ready. They are. They detailed their salt and snow plans. They're not going with the salt sand mix
Why not?
anymore. They're going with just salt. They feel like it helps melt.
No more wintry mix.
easier. Yeah, they are salting them. They will salt them when it snows, and after the snow and salt interact, starting the melting process, the city's 12 plows will get to work. Previously, they did not plow some of its major thoroughfares behind some inclines, declines, and bridges. But anyways, the TDOT is responsible for I-40, I-55, and the 240 loop, and the city is responsible for Sam Cooper into Midtown and the Flyway. They will do, it appears, north and south, or no, east and west. East and west routes, the big roads, those are all going to be done. Said north and south may be a little trickier. Union, Walnut Grove, Poplar, they are going to be taking care
Think they're
of
going to hit that
those.
A.W. Willis Bridge?
Yeah. Yeah. But
Oh, yeah,
north and
that's
south
first,
makes it a little tricky, though, if they're not going to do a lot of north and south stuff, because Germantown Parkway runs north and south.
That's true.
It's a pretty big street here. So.
Yeah. Roser, I'm
A lot to see. We'll see how this unfolds tomorrow morning through the course of the weekend.
Roser's like a regular Todd Demaris.
I'm liking Roser's coat.
yeah.
Thank you.
He looks ready for the.
This is from Target.
Looks nice. I like it.
Target.
Good.
Yeah,
Target. CJ, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How's everybody
Hi,
doing?
CJ.
Doing
Hello,
well, man.
y'all.
Are you ready for the storm?
Yeah, I think so. We got a house, so in addition to letting the faucets drip and leaving the doors open, we got to go outside and wrap the pipes. And I thought the whole point of getting married was so I'd never have to wrap the pipe again. But now here I am wrapping pipes.
You gotta, like I said, don't worry about what goes out the pipe. You gotta worry about what comes in.
What comes in? That's right. Oh my goodness. All right. Yeah, I am. I will be driving tomorrow.
Let your pipes drip, though. By the way.
Yeah, let your pipes
faucets drip.
Yeah, let 'em drip.
drip.
I'm going to be driving tomorrow to we have a 3:00 flight
Yeah.
to Minneapolis, which should be lovely, a good getaway.
Minneapolis is worse
Yeah.
than Memphis is right now. The weather.
It always
Really?
is.
I would never think so in January.
It always is. Miserable there.
You don't say.
Not coldest. I mean, 2 years ago we went to Minneapolis.
But those
and the wind
cities-
chill was 60
But don't
below.
those cities have
Yes,
like,
they have full underground tunnels.
Tunnels.
right or even like walkways that
Yep.
connect buildings so
Yeah.
you don't have to walk outside
Correct.
because of how cold it gets.
Correct. Yeah, you can go miles without going outside. That's kind of neat. But for some people who like to step outside for a few minutes and enjoy some
Problematic.
fresh air,
Catch some air.
Woo, man, is it cold.
You may freeze to death.
It's miserable. Yeah. So looking forward to getting
Well,
to
if you need a
Minneapolis
ride tomorrow, call me.
Yeah, if you could pick me up in the Jeep, that'd be fantastic.
I don't mind bringing the rain. It's like remember when Freddie Freeman got stuck in the Atlanta snowstorm a couple
Right.
years ago, and Chipper Jones picked him up on the snow
Right.
cat thing.
That's right.
You
could do that
reenact
for me
and
tomorrow?
Maybe they'll make a bobblehead.
Because let
For a
me
GCM
make a
giveaway.
bobblehead for us. Yeah. Because the plane will leave without me.
I understand.
Yeah, I'm not one of the priorities on the plane. It's just true. It's just the truth. We have college football tonight.
I know. And we have Grizzlies at the same time.
We do. College football playoff semifinals begin tonight. We got 2 games, one tonight, one tomorrow night, as the semifinals are set. Notre Dame and Penn State. Notre Dame, a 1.5-point favorite with the total 45.5. That one at the Orange Bowl. Ohio State, it went down to 5.5 yesterday, back up to 6. That total 53.5. They'll be playing at the Cotton Bowl. The Ohio State movement to 5.5, Roser, did that mean anything to you?
No, it's still 6 at some places. I believe it's 5.5 at others. I'm not going to be shocked if it comes down a little more. We've talked about that Sagarin predictor number, and like when you see what the number, and that number told you Notre Dame should have been favored over Georgia, regardless of how Notre Dame got their points or anything. It told you that Notre Dame should have been favored over Georgia, and that line moved from Georgia -1.5 to Notre Dame -1, like that next day or like right before the game, the day before the game. That line, that Sagarin number tells you that line's too high, and that it should be Ohio State about -3. And it's had been 5.5, 6. So that line tells you.
Does that surprise
if you just go by that,
seeing-
it tells you that the line's too high.
Does that surprise you seeing Ohio State, though,
No.
the last few weeks? I mean,
No, I mean,
they've been
look. It
clearly
does.
the best team
Yeah,
in the
no,
country.
it does surprise me. They're the hottest team in the country.
I mean,
They-
because I look at the line and I say 6, not enough.
I think
Right.
so too. Yeah, I think they win by a couple of scores.
I feel the same way.
I don't know.
I kind of feel
That's
the same
why
way.
the line kind of freaks me out a
too.
little bit. And then when it went down, it kind of freaked me out a little
Texas
bit.
has a ton of talent, and this is
Who?
they get to play. I mean, their left tackle is going to go number 4 in the NFL draft.
How many points is he going to score? That's the thing.
No, I know, but they are. You know, they've got NFL players on that team. Like
And they have
they
Sark-
get to play the underdog role now.
Sark's a good coach,
They get to do the underdog thing.
but they did
I
that.
don't know. There's something with Sark's teams where I'm like,
They did that. They were the underdog in the SEC championship game, and they lost.
Yeah.
You know, like they've had that experience. This
no,
season.
I tend to think. I mean, look,
I think
don't-
Ohio
I
State's
don't-
going to kill them.
I don't think they're beating Ohio State. Ohio State should win the whole thing.
Yes.
The Ohio State that we've seen is the Ohio State we expected to see all year.
Yes.
The $20 million roster, you have more talent than anybody else in the country.
Yes. And we have seen it here the last couple of weeks for sure. CJ, the Penn State game, the Penn State is an underdog here. And the thing I think a lot of people, including myself, the first thing you think of when you think of Penn State in a big game is when have they won big games. Now, maybe we have to give them credit for winning last week, but they got Notre Dame and they come in as an underdog. Are you surprised at the line, or you think not?
No, I'm not surprised. This game, somebody's got to be favored, I guess, and it's a point and a half here for Notre Dame. I love the narrative, especially in NFL. I love the narrative of, hey, can't win the big game with them, and that's the end of the analysis, right? Never mind the fact that I'm assuming that James Franklin and Penn State played some big games against the Wisconsins and the Michigans. I know for a fact they've played big games against Michigan because I remember sitting there hand in head watching Saquon Barkley do whatever the hell he wanted to, right? KJ Hamler doing whatever the hell they wanted to. And I feel like the narrative at times gets out of hand with this person here can't win the big game. When, no, they can win the big game. What James Franklin can't do right now is beat Ohio State, right? And
Oregon.
Or Oregon, I guess.
Yeah, they lost to Oregon, too.
Okay, fine, Ohio State and Oregon. But the Ohio State thing is a repeat problem. The Oregon thing just happened. So, like, they played Oregon this year in the Big Ten championship game and lost that, whereas they played Ohio State this year and lost, last year and lost, the year before that and lost, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that is the problem, right? It's the same thing with the guy at the school, the red and gray school, whatever the hell their name is called. Where
the what school?
The red and gray school. What they're the Acorns,
the
fighting
Mississippi
Acorns.
College of Alcorn State.
No, they are purple
Mississippi
and gold.
Women's College.
No, they don't have a football team, I don't think. They only got a male population of like 23%. I don't think they can field a football team.
Right.
The one in Ohio, in Cincinnati or Akron or wherever the hell that
The one in
school is
Columbus?
at. That one.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ohio
sure.
State.
Whatever their name is, whatever. But it isn't that he can't win the big one. It's that right now there's a style of play that Michigan plays where it is just run heavy that they cannot figure out what they're supposed to do with right now. And so Ohio State, yes, has looked so much better in the playoffs, but they look great during the regular season also. That Michigan game notwithstanding, that Oregon game notwithstanding, they won on the road at Penn State, they handled Indiana, and they just throttled everybody else. So if you're not playing that, hey, we're going to run this football at you and play time of possession and field position, you're probably not going to win against Ohio State. It's going to be very, very difficult to win Ohio State because they want to play on the edges. They want to play fast. They want to get downfield. The Texas wants to do that also, so I'm really intrigued by this Ohio State line. I'm with you guys. I think it should be Ohio State by more, unfortunately, but I wouldn't pick them because F them. That's why. The teams that do that are left, they're both on the other side. So Ohio State, assuming they win this, they're going to face a team in Notre Dame who wants to run the football. They're going to face a team in Penn State who wants to run the football. And while Ohio State did beat Penn State, it was, 20-13 or something like that? It was a low-scoring game. And Penn State, had they made one or two more plays, they would have won that game. So I'm interested to see how that goes. But to your original question, Rob, no, I'm not surprised at all by the line. I look forward to sitting down and watching this because there are some things there that Penn State does well that Notre Dame really struggles with.
The problem is I thought Ohio State was going to face a team that wanted to run the football when they played Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee played like chicken shit.
And then Tennessee didn't want to run the football. So, like, I think if a team commits to it, we saw Michigan do it, it worked. No one's tried that really against Ohio State so far in the
Penn
playoffs.
State committed to it and got close.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know what the hell Tennessee was on. I thought they were going to run the ball and play damn defense also. They
what's his name? Dylan Sampson was like hurt or something. It was, I don't know.
There also, something to keep an eye on, it won't affect the starters. The flu is running wild in Notre Dame's locker room. Special teams players and second stringers are
that
going to
actually
be out for
affects
this.
Notre Dame because they're great on special teams. Remember they had like the couple trick plays against Georgia? Yeah.
The flu. Look out for that. We'll talk more about these games and have some trends and some picks on these games coming up here in a little bit here on the Odds Couple. But first, some NFL. We got a full 6 games slate in the National Football League and Wildcard Weekend this weekend. Looking forward to it. It gets started on Saturday with the Chargers and the Texans. Chargers a 3-point road favorite. Baltimore, the biggest number of the weekend. It was 10 down to 9.5. Buffalo 8.5 over Denver on Sunday. You have the Eagles 4.5 over Green Bay, Tampa 3 over the Commanders, and then Monday night you have the Vikings a 1-point favorite at the Rams. Which of those games, Lang, are you most looking forward to watching?
I think those probably Packers Eagles. Although Steelers Ravens kind of might be interesting, but I think Packers Eagles are the 2 best teams out of all those, the closest matchup out of all those. The one I think's the most incorrect line is probably Tampa Washington. Just because I've watched both those 2 teams the last 2 weeks, and Tampa barely beat the Saints, and Washington beat a good Atlanta offense. It took them overtime, but they could score a lot of points. But I feel like that Pittsburgh Baltimore, it's one of those like classic frozen tundra, smash mouth games in the snow. I'm sure it's snowing because it's snowing here. But Packers-Eagles, to me, probably is like the kind of most interesting close matchup of those. Also, the Steelers suck right now.
Yeah.
So.
Roser?
I am going to go with the Rams and the Vikings. One reason I think super interesting game with coaches that are familiar with each other. Kevin Connolly was the offensive coordinator for the Rams.
True.
When they won the Super Bowl, Matt Stafford, Aaron Donald, and that crew a couple of years ago. Other side of it is that game may be played in Arizona, and it looks like we're going to know tomorrow if that game is going to get moved to Arizona because of the fires in Los Angeles. There's a bunch of speculation that says, I don't know how they're going to pull this off at SoFi Stadium. So, the speculation is it will most likely be moved to Arizona.
I don't think that really affects them as a home field thing, though, right? Because like
They're not
really
used
have
to a home
fans.
field
Well,
anyway.
They're not.
they're
They were projected, though. Ticket sales said they're projected to have 90% of the people at SoFi. They were projected to.
Wow.
The ticket sales have been going well for the Rams, even though the Vikings are a team. They do travel,
And
they-
30% of the
Vikings have a lot
90%
fans.
sold theirs.
Right, that could happen too. But yeah, I think just the fact that we could have a playoff game, an NFL playoff game played in Arizona that does not feature the Cardinals. It features a team from Los Angeles.
like a
and
bowl game.
And a team from Minnesota. Also, I think, we'll see. Is the Darnold stuff real? Can he do it in the playoffs?
I'm a Minnesota believer. That's probably the most intriguing one
I
for
think
me.
Minnesota's really good.
I'm a Minnesota believer, I think.
And it would
I
not.
think.
And look, I don't think even if the Vikings lose this game, I don't think it says that, Sam Darnold and the Vikings just weren't ready for this moment. It's all regular season. Like, dude, the Rams might be really good. Like, they've been playing really, really good.
I think there's some recency bias here because we all saw Minnesota just get pantsed on TV by Detroit in a game they needed to win to get to number one, and they were bad, and Darnold was bad.
Yeah.
Especially in the red zone. And I wonder how much of that is us. I have a pick up on this game, so I should
Sit
it out.
Yeah.
However, I would say I wonder how much of this is just like a recency thing of people being like, we just saw them lose.
Yeah.
This team sucks. They're no good. Blah blah blah. Like they've been good all season long. They've been very good all season long.
They won 14 games. 14 games, and they're having to play on the road.
Yeah.
To open the playoffs. Now it's crazy. Now it may end up just being a neutral field, but I'm with you. And I said all of that, and you have no idea what I think on this game, do you?
No.
I know.
That's because I have a pick.
Oh.
So I got to sit it out.
Okay. CJ, which one are you looking forward to?
Playoffs in the NFL is so much fun because this is where the legends and the lores get like solidified, built. I'm really interested in the Ravens Steelers. One, this is a Lamar Jackson-led Ravens team that has struggled mightily in Lamar's career against this team. And now here you go. You're playing them in the playoffs, and it's time for the workplace sleigh. Notebook, get the lights out.
All day.
Of the way, all day, every day. When you look at intended air yards per pass attempt, Ravens tied for second most in the NFL at 8.6 yards down the field. Lamar Jackson is pushing this thing down the field. Never mind what he can do with his legs, even though he set the NFL record for a quarterback in rushing yards. But it felt kind of like, I want to say ho-hum because that's an NFL record, right? You break Mike Vick's record, that's impressive. But it felt like he was doing it like, I'll do it when I feel like it. I don't feel like it all the time, so I'm not going to. You got Derrick Henry in the backfield to take a lot of pressure off of Lamar Jackson in that passing game. But we saw last year in the playoffs against the Chiefs when Lamar sat in that pocket and just refused to run. He refused to run. It's clear the run lanes were there, and Lamar was like, no, let me try and throw this. He's going to have to be a better decision maker, not throwing the ball, but knowing when to run, pick his moment to run, and when to pull it down and throw it, extend that time. Nobody's better in the NFL at extending time in the pocket than Lamar Jackson this season. So I look forward to seeing what he can do. If he can beat the Steelers, that's step one on his way to being no longer the guy who can't win the big one, who puts up a bunch of stats in the regular season. But in the postseason, he gets bounced, right? Start here and then figure it out from there. And then on the Steelers side of things, Mike Tomlin never had a losing record. But this is the thing that people complain about when they talk about Mike Tomlin. It's, hey, never had a losing record, but what does he do in the playoffs? It's been a while since he's gotten deep into the playoffs. They are entering on, a 4-game losing streak? Yeah, like that's not very good. So I'm interested to see. Somebody's going to leave this not just a winner of a football game, but a winner in perception, and that's going to matter.
One of the things that I see this game, and I'm with you on why it's interesting, is like I see the point spread, and I'm like, we know the history between these two teams. When they just last played them, Baltimore beat them. Like it was in the midst of Steelers playing 3 games in 11 days. Like, why is this line so high? So immediately I'm like, dude, you have to jump on the Steelers. But the other side of me is like, why is this line so high? It is high for a reason here. And one thing that's crazy to me, too, is that you see, like, there's been all these. I've never seen a team linked to trading for a head coach more than I have the Chicago Bears this offseason. I never hear of teams trading for head coaches, except I've heard it with the Bears and like 3 head coaches now. And Mike Tomlin is being tied. Should the Bears trade for Mike Tomlin? I'm like, Mike Tomlin is still playing football. His team's got a game this weekend, and they're talking about trading for Mike Tomlin, like, are the Bears.
The best one today was the Cowboys getting linked to Ryan Day. Did you see that one?
That's
that's great.
That would be unbelievable.
There was the one a few weeks ago. It was Kyle Shanahan and the Bears, and the 49ers like, dude, we are not trading Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? Like, what are we talking about here? That's all to say. I want to say take the Steelers, but we've been doing this gambling thing for a long time, and it tells me, there's no reason for that line to be that high. And if it's that high, it's that high for a reason. So take the Ravens. That being said, I do have a pick on this game. You'll find out later. For now, got to sit it out.
All right.
Prominent coaches to be traded for. Don Shula when he ended up with the Dolphins. Bill Parcells when he ended up with the Jets. Bill Belichick when he went from the Jets to the Patriots. Bruce Arians when he ended up on the Bucs. So like it's happened.
I know it's happened, but it's like
why would the Bears want to do this now?
Right.
And why would you, if you're the Steelers, like trade Mike Tomlin? That wouldn't make a bunch of sense.
All right, let's check out the Super Bowl odds for the Super Bowl champion. Of course, it's led by the Detroit Lions. They are the favorite at plus 320, followed by the Chiefs at plus 370. Got the Ravens plus 550, Bills plus 600, Eagles 650, and then a big drop-off down to the Vikings at plus 1,500. Tampa 2,100, Packers 2,400, Chargers 2,800, Rams 3,000, Commanders 4,000, Steelers 8,500, along with the Broncos, and then the Texans at plus 10,000.
Okay.
What's a good value there?
I think the Rams.
Rams are... What were the Rams there? 3,000, yeah.
I think the
Plus
Rams.
3,000.
I think the Rams. They've done it before. They've got the quarterback.
See,
you could see with
they have the
Nakua and
defense?
Kyron Williams. Their defense has gotten better. I'm just telling you because the odds. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I would take the Lions or the Chiefs. Like, easy. That's who I would take.
I would maybe take the Bills. What are they? Plus 500? I can't see the screen.
600.
600. Yeah, I mean.
See, I was trying to go. I was
If
trying
you
to
want
go
a long
Vikings
shot,
and down. I was trying to go Vikings
long
and
shot,
down.
maybe the Packers.
I was
The
going to say the
Packers
Packers.
are-
Yeah.
Speaking of a team that's done it last year, they made the run to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, and it would not shock me, like, because I don't trust Jalen Hurts. Like, I just don't think he's that good. But A.J. Brown is that awesome, and Saquon Barkley is that awesome, and their defense has been really good, and their offensive line is amazing.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why I don't want to really touch the Eagles. Hurts is the only reason I'd stay away from the Eagles. I love the Eagles team, except the quarterback spot. I don't think the Chargers have enough. I'd say Rams and Packers would be the two.
All right. CJ?
I think if the Vikings had to beat the Lions, how different would this look? Right? I think that some of this is with the Vikings being way down there at plus 1,500. I think some of this is because they have to go on the road.
Yeah.
But again, going back to the notebook, because I think
Yeah, if they would have won, would they be the favorite?
I don't think so. I think they'd be like between plus 600 and 800.
Recency bias.
I think they'd be in there.
Telling
So
you.
if you do believe that, then that's value.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
definitely
I
value on
don't
the Vikings.
believe in Sam Darnold either, but the Vikings offensive line is giving him a ton of time in the pocket per Pro Football Reference. Vikings O-line has allowed the most pocket time in the NFL, 2.5 seconds per drop back, and they were blitzed the third fewest in the NFL, right? So if you got a okay quarterback who's not being pressured, you say, all right, great, just don't turn the ball over, and that's something that he's done a really good job of not doing this season, that defense is phenomenal as well. And you're telling me that Sam Darnold can throw it to a safety blanket if he gets into a tight spot in TJ Hawkinson, or push the ball downfield to one of, if not the best receiver in the game right now, Justin Jefferson. I know they have to go on the road, but I can't shake the fact that if they had to beat the Lions, and ifs and buts, candy nuts, whatever you want to say.
We'd all have a Merry Christmas.
Hey, if they had to beat them, though, they certainly wouldn't be plus 1,500. They'd be up there with the Bills and Ravens and as far as odds to win a Super Bowl goes. I think the Vikings are great. Are a great value at where they are.
Yeah, good one. All right, let's take a break here on the Odds Couple. When we come back, we'll look more at the college football semifinals, look at the trends, and also the futures for the college football championship. We'll do that when we return here on the Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
Grizz Nation, it's time to send Ja, Sharon, and Dez to the 2025 All-Star Game.
Oh! What did we just see, partner?
Take three! Take three!
Bain for three. Bingo! Desmond Bain
Heating it up.
blocked by Jaron.
Most versatile power forward in the game today.
Head to NBA.com/vote, the NBA app, or simply use the QR code on the screen to send your Grizzlies to the All-Star Game today.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Odds Couple. Coming up on the program, we will have we'll look at some of the NFL matchups coming up this weekend. We'll look at those. We also got Fish Nuggets. We got our top 5 NFL playoff quarterbacks and free picks and our regular picks coming up here on the show. The first of 2 semifinal games in college football playoff is tonight as Penn State takes on Notre Dame. Notre Dame a 1.5-point favorite. The total at 44.5. The Irish are 10-0 against the spread in their last 10 games. They have covered 10 straight games. They're 6-0-1 against the spread, taking on Big Ten opponents. However, they are 3-8 against the spread, their last 11 in January. 13 of their last 20 games have gone over the number. Penn State, meanwhile, as an underdog, not good. 1-7 against the spread when they are a dog. They have covered 5 of their last 7 games, and they are 5-0 straight up when they take on independent opponents. Penn State 4 of their last 6 over as well. We all have a pick on this game.
We do?
We do.
We do.
So we're all going to sit it out. But with this game, the line being 1.5, do you expect it to be that good of a game?
I think it's, I mean, the more I think about it, the more I think the under is the play here. I don't think it's going to be a very good, high-scoring game.
Like, aesthetically pleasing?
Not like the Georgia-Notre Dame game wasn't great. And Penn State has won these games against teams that just kind of keep shooting themselves in the foot over and over. Penn State hasn't done a lot to make me feel like, oh, this is an explosive offense, or, you know, they have a tight end who's good and that's about it. So I kind of feel like maybe it's going to be just like a low scoring. I think what's it 44 the overall number?
44 and a half.
44 and a half. Yeah, like I feel like the under might be the play here.
All right, Roser.
You know, when you say, "Is this going to be a good game?" Like, do you mean like, is it going to be like close? Is the final score going to be close?
You'll
or
be
is it
watching
like,
till the end.
Or is it going to be like, well played, man, this is awesome football to
Close,
watch.
probably.
Like,
you'll watch till the end to see who wins.
I think that Warren kid, as Lanning mentioned, the Warren kid, Tyler Warren's unbelievable. I think that running game at Penn State, that Notre Dame defense is good. Like, it is good. That running game for Penn State, the two guys that were also Katron Allen and then Singleton against Boise State. I think those two, can they get any kind of run game going with either one of those guys against Notre Dame? I think is going.
Here's
to be.
the thing. I mean, Notre Dame went into that Georgia game having all these great running backs and Love and the other guys and everything, and like those guys didn't do anything against Georgia. It was Riley Leonard was their leading rusher, but they did hold Georgia's running backs. ETN was healthy. Frazier was there. They held those guys to nothing pretty much. So if I'm Penn State, I'm like, all right, where are we going to score against this team? The one place Notre Dame's weak is the secondary, like especially, and like I don't really know if I trust Drew Allard slinging the ball around out there. So
that's why
I'm taking the under.
Yeah, no, I totally get the underplay. I also think, why is James Franklin talking crap about Marcus Freeman like right to his face?
I don't think you meant to.
What are you doing?
That was a funny clip if you watch it. I actually grabbed it for next week's show because he says, like, look, I think all the teams should have to play a conference championship game to make it to the college playoff. Like, we have to play an extra game. Everyone has to play an extra game. Why does these schools not have to play an extra game? And then he realizes, I don't think he was meant specifically Notre Dame until he realized, oh shit, I'm sitting next to the guy from Notre Dame. And then he's like, Marcus, I don't mean it like that.
Well, I think you can see the look on Marcus Freeman. And he also was talking about Marcus Freeman's age, talked about how like young he looked or something like that. And it just like, you can see Marcus Freeman like taking it personal. He has the look of like, I'm taking it personal. And you mentioned the numbers. I mean, Marcus Freeman's been good in these spots. James Franklin has not been good in these spots. I'm not giving you my pick. You can probably tell which way I'm leaning.
All right, CJ,
I got to sit the rest
close
out.
game, good game?
It'll be great for somebody like me who just wants to see dudes run into one another and hit. I'm excited about it. This is going to be a bunch of tater-toting mother bleepers out there on the football field. I can't wait for it. Now, it'll be close because of that. Is it going to be good for you people? No, y'all are going to hate it.
I love it.
Y'all are going to complain about it on the social
people.
media. People who like to see it spread out and hurled all over the field, put the ball in the wide receiver's hand, let the quarterback drop back 50-11 times and just throw the ball. No, tote the damn tater. Run it. Speaking of tater toting, it'll come down to whether or not Notre Dame can stay on schedule on their drive. If they can get to third down, on third downs, Penn State is giving up 3.1 yards per carry. On third and 1 to 3 yards to go, Penn State is giving up 4.1 yards per carry. So if you can get the third down, you can run the ball. Third and manageable, you can run the ball at Penn State. That takes away the threat of Abdul Carter, who's going to be a tremendous NFL player. Those stats coming to you from CFBstats.com. Like, you got to be able to run the ball at them, because if you start trying to drop back, as good as Leonard was all season long, he's going to take hits from this Penn State defensive line and this Penn State front seven. Got to stay on schedule. So important for Notre Dame. And on the other side, Penn State's got to find a way to get a big play. They've got 72 plays of 20 yards or more on the season. Somebody on that roster, on that side of the field, be it Aller or Warren or one of those great running backs, somebody's going to have to bust something off for 40 or 50 yards in order to get them a chance to score. You're not going to get a lot of scoring in this game.
I don't believe Riley Leonard's going to get hit any harder by Penn State than he was against Georgia. And you know, he was their leading rusher. He was their best player in that game. Also, Al Golden, the Notre Dame defensive coordinator. You remember how, like, when he was the coach of Miami, he used to always wear the tie, and he looked like a overgrown teenager or something. Now he's got like the clear lenses, and like he looks like an older woman now. Like, I don't know, he's got such an interesting look going now. Why'd you look at me like that?
I don't want to say what I'm going to say. I would get in trouble.
All right, let's move on.
I don't want to.
Ohio State's a 6-point favorite against Texas. The total in this one's 53.5. Ohio State's covered 5 of their last 7 games. They're 7-2 against the spread on Friday. 7-2 against the spread on Fridays. How about that? 4 of their last 5 against SEC opponents have gone over, and 5 of their last 6 in January have gone over as well. Texas, meanwhile, 3-6 against the spread in their last 9 games. 1-5 against the spread against Big Ten opponents. 4-1 against the spread on Fridays. How about that? So they're different. Yeah. Both teams good on Friday. Texas, however, 1-4 against the spread in January.
Wait. How many college football games? They've 4-1 against the spread on a Friday. How many college football games are played on Fridays?
Usually bowl games.
Texas has played 5, Roser. Keep up.
Oh, I know that, but like over the course of how long? Like, how long does this go back? When was the last Friday night Texas game you
Did they
remember?
play last week on Friday?
Roser, trust the trends. Trust the trends.
TTT.
Yeah, trust the trends. 6 of 8 in January for Texas have gone over.
Okay.
That means they played 14 games in January.
Yeah.
Lang and I have picks on this one, so we'll
Sit these out.
Sit these two out. Roser and CJ both have a pick on the total.
Yeah, we got a pick on the total.
But on the game, we were talking earlier about this line not being enough yet. Neither of you jumped on it.
No.
I'm not picking Ohio State to do anything but take a shit. Like, why would I pick them for any other reason?
That's fair.
They're terrible.
Somehow we managed
awful.
2 S-bombs on this show.
Yeah, whatever. I don't give a damn about them. I think this will, of the 2
ready for the
games,
snow.
I think this will be the one that people find the most enjoyable to sit down and watch. This is 2 teams who've got 2 offenses who do want to push the ball down the field, who are big play hunting, who playing against some defenses that are gettable. Right, so I think this will be the game that everybody remembers in the future. Like when we get back on Monday to do Jessica's show or Gary's show and Vernon's show and
the
Odds Couple as well. Right, when we get back on Monday, this will be the exciting game that everybody wants to sit down and talk about.
Yeah, Roser.
I have a feeling we're going to be talking about this one.
Yeah.
20 years from now.
20 years from now.
Kidding, I have no idea. Look,
Lane's eyes almost fell out of his head.
I wish they were playing it in the actual Cotton Bowl because they're supposed to get snow too in Dallas. So I wish they were playing it in the real Cotton Bowl and not
Jerry's World.
And not Jerry World. But it is, alas, it's going to be in Jerry World. I think how could you not take Ohio State? I mean, I know why CJ can't take them for personal reasons.
Yeah, we learned.
If you don't have a personal vendetta against Ohio State, I do believe like it's one of those you would feel dumb if you didn't take them and they win by, 17 points. You'd be like, oh crap, should have known.
Yeah. All right, and we'll have our picks on that one as well. Before we get to break, check out the championship odds for the 4 teams remaining.
Odds?
Ohio State is the odds-on favorite, overwhelming favorite, at -130 to win the championship. Texas at +400 is second, followed by Notre Dame at +500 and Penn State at +550, which makes me think, Ohio State, how big of a favorite will they be over Notre Dame or Penn State if they win this game?
Huge.
Double digits?
Huge. I don't think it would get up to double digits, especially if it's Notre Dame, just because so many people are going to bet on Notre Dame because they have so many fans.
I think it would be 8.5 for both of those.
I'd say 7.5 to 8.5. Yeah.
Penn State, Ohio State played. Now I'm not sure how much home field mattered in that, but that one was a 6-7 point game. So I guess about 8.5, 9.5.
I think it also depends if Ohio State boat races Texas. Then, I think people you can kind of. We all keep saying they're the hottest team and they've won 2 games, but if they do it a 3rd time against this team, then you might be like, all right.
It's how they've won those 2 games. They were like, oh, okay.
All right, let's take a break here on the Odds Couple. When we come back, we'll look at a couple of the NFL matchups and the Fish Nuggets as well. Plus, we got our top 5 coming up later in the program and our picks, plus some free picks. That's all ahead here on the Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
Grizz Nation, it's time to send Ja, Sharon, and Dez to the 2025 All-Star Game.
Oh! What did we just see, partner?
Take 3. three. Take three.
Bain for three. Bingo!
This man Bain heating it up.
Blocked by Jaron.
Most versatile power forward in the game today.
That's NBA.com/vote, the NBA app, or simply use the QR code on the screen to send your Grizzlies to the All-Star game today.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off. Durant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Odds Couple. Thursday edition of the large program. We will be with you on Monday as well, recapping all this great action and also digging deeper into the Monday night football game between the Rams and the, who are they playing? The Vikings. Rams
Eagles.
and the Vikings. No, Rams and Vikings. Yeah, that'll be Monday. So we'll dig into that on Monday's edition of the Odds Couple, as well as recapping everything that happens this weekend. This weekend, we got National Football League action, 2 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday, and then 1 on Monday night. One of the games on Saturday, the Chargers, a 3-point favorite at Houston, the total 42.5. LA is 11-2 against the spread as a favorite, 9-2 against the spread their last 11, and they've covered 7 of the last 9 against the Houston Texans. Watching these two teams at the end of the season, the Chargers look like a good team who are well coached. Texans did not look like a good team. They looked like and felt like they just limped into the playoffs, just not playing well.
I agree. They looked like they were waiting for the playoffs. You know, they were at the end of the NBA season. I always say it's the Southwest Airlines part of the season. It's just you want to get away.
Right.
You know, like that's what the Texans look like the last couple of weeks. There's been a lot of speculation that ever since C.J. Stroud connected with Amber Rose at the celebrity softball game last year, it's kind of hamstrung his career. I don't know if I can speak to that. But I would say that he has not had the season he had a year ago. And I think the Texans in general just – people kind of figured them out a little bit from last year.
I think the issue is that offensive line. Nobody can be good under that offensive line. Texans are the most hurried team, 57 hurries so far on the season. Second most pressure team in the NFL. They have the highest pressure percentage at 26.9%. That means a little bit more than 1 in 4 times when C.J. Stroud drops back, he's facing pressure. Part of the reason the Vikings are in the position that they're in is because their line protects their quarterback. I don't think Darnold is any better than C.J. Stroud. I hate that I like him as an NFL quarterback, right? But if you're not going to give him time to throw, then hell, all bets are off. So much about being a good quarterback is how much time do you have in the pocket to be comfortable, and the Texans are providing C.J. Stroud right now with no time in the pocket.
The Philadelphia Eagles, 4.5-point favorite against the Green Bay Packers this week. The total in this one is 45.5. Philadelphia, 13 of their last 14 in January have gone under the total. 7-2 against the spread their last 9. Green Bay's covered 5 of their last 7. They're 8-3 against the spread as a dog as well. My bias for Green Bay on this one is what they did last year in the postseason and just feeling like they could do it again. They seem like a forgotten team right now. In the Eagles, Eagles are really good.
Sometimes.
And it seems like there's always something going on. I'm going with the Packers in this one, plus the 4.5.
I heard Chris mention it on his show today. I texted everybody in the Grind City Media universe and asked for their pick for the Super Bowl for tomorrow's Grind City Media newsletter. One person picked the Eagles.
Luke.
No, Mike Wallace, actually. But he was like, they've kind of been through a lot, and now they've gotten to the other side of it, and they know what they are, and they'll be fine. But I feel like that's the team. There's just always something going on with them, and I feel like at some point it's got to come back and bite you. So I'd stick with the Pack.
Yeah, Roser.
I've got a pick on this game.
Oh.
So I would say I don't trust either quarterback, but I got a pick on the game, so I'm trusting one of them in this one. But I'm going to sit it out.
CJ, you got a pick on the game.
I do, and I just had to look and double check. We're thinking of the same Eagles team, the 14-3 team, right? That's you don't get 14-3 in the NFL by fluke. They've got dynamic receivers on the outside. They've got a stud running back in Saquon Barkley. They got a really good defense who can go out there and get pressure on you. I'm not sure what the hell the Packers have done to give anybody any sort of real belief in them winning this game. So I would absolutely take the Eagles straight up. Now, as far as the spread goes, I'll have to sit this one out.
Okay. All right. Big one with Tampa and Washington. I think very entertaining game. Tampa's a 3-point favorite against the Commanders. Total in this one's 50.5. Tampa, 11 of their last 14 games have gone over the total. They're 8-3 straight up at home in their last 11 against Washington. Now the Commanders are 6-2 against the spread, taking on NFC South opponents, and 6 of 7 as a dog have gone over the total. Again, that total at 50.5. I have a pick on this one. Lang has a pick on this one. Roser.
I don't trust either one of these quarterbacks.
Is there a quarterback you trust?
Nope.
Yeah, there's a few of them. Not many of them.
Brock
but
Purdy.
I don't know. Don't really do that either.
Jimmy G.
Tampa, I would be if Chris Godwin played, I'd be all over Tampa. But he's done for the year. His career may be done. But the Bucks have. I feel like they're just kind of limped through the last half of the season since their bye. They lost Godwin for the year. Evans missed some time. They got him back, but it just doesn't look the same as it did when they had both of those guys. That being said, I want to take the Commanders, but it's a rookie quarterback. So I would completely stay away from this game.
All right.
If you made me, I'd take the Commanders, but I don't really.
What this Bucks defense
Bowles
is going to have to do. One is it is a rookie quarterback, and Ty Bowles can confuse them if they want to drop back and throw the ball. Right? If your quarterback wants to stand in the pocket, stand tall, drop back and throw the ball, then that secondary game plan and scheme, Ty Bowles can scheme that offense out of the game. But that's not what the Commanders want to do. Nobody had more undesigned quarterback runs, quarterback scrambles than the Commanders this season with 77. And that's why Daniels is probably going to win Rookie of the Year, right? His legs have helped carry him to that point. They'll have to spy him. And if you can keep him under control and make him beat you from the pocket, I like the Bucks' chances in this game. Also, you get a couple of big plays from Bucky Irving, who emerged this year as a phenomenal rookie running back. Of the two, I trust Baker a bit more, and I trust those weapons a bit more than I do the Commanders. I will take the Bucks laying the 3.
All right, there you go. We'll talk more NFL in our picks coming up in our next segment. Let's get to some fish nuggets, however. And each week we like to start with the Friday Night Dogs. Friday Night Dogs had a real good year in college football, 41-24 against the spread last week.
Impressive.
Friday Dogs went 0-2 straight up, 1-1 against the spread last week. Texas, a 6-point dog against Ohio State on Friday. Look out. Penn State, meanwhile, they are 1-10 straight up in their last 11 games as an underdog. They're a 1.5-point dog against Notre Dame. However, Notre Dame, meanwhile, they are 2-10 straight up in their last 12 games played in January. Yeah.
Somebody's due.
Ohio State is 81-7 in the last 88 games when they are a favorite. They're 81-7 straight up. Texas is 3-12 straight up in their last 15 when playing as an underdog. And one shield nugget.
Shield us.
Bo Nix.
What?
Bo Nix. 7 games with 200 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and no interceptions this season. That was the most by a rookie quarterback since 1950.
Yeah, Nick's got big nuts, Rob. I'm with you.
Yep, that's right. Bo Nix. All right, let's take a break here on the Odds Couple. When we come back, we got picks. Then we got free picks. And we got our top 5 as well. That's coming up next here on the Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
Grizz Nation, it's time to send Ja, Sharon, and Dez to the 2025 All-Star Game.
Oh! What did we just see, partner?
Take 3. Take 3.
Bain for 3. Bingo! Desmond Bain.
Heating it up.
Blocked by Sharon.
Most versatile power forward in the game today.
Head to NBA.com/vote, the NBA app, or simply use the QR code on the screen to send your Grizzlies to the All-Star Game today.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Back, everybody, to the Odds Couple.
Sing along, fish!
Thursday edition of the large program. We'll be with you on Monday as well.
Monday.
At 2 o'clock live, as we are each Monday and Thursday.
What if we're
live
not
at
able
2.
to travel?
Who?
Us.
If we're not able to travel.
Yeah, because of the weather.
I think we'll be okay by then.
It's a possibility. Schools just got canceled for tomorrow.
Yes, well, I thought that would
School
happen
schmoo.
by Monday. I thought they would have canceled them for Friday. Yeah, no surprise. School canceled already for tomorrow for a lot of schools. So check your local listings.
It'll be on the crawl. It's on the crawl on the bottom of the screen.
On the crawl.
Closing.
Nobody looks at local listings.
Nobody
has looked at
listings?
local listings in 20 years.
What are local listings even? I don't even
TV Guide
know.
channel.
TV Guide channel?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think this exists anymore.
There's a crawl on the bottom of the screen. It has which schools are closed
has
and
all
what
the schools.
time.
So that still exists?
On our show right now.
Yeah, you got to
okay.
watch the local TV.
You just got to look close.
All right.
You got to watch local TV.
I think the ratio is off on these TVs in here. It's cutting it off.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's actually on there.
Yeah. What are we doing? Top five
Not
NFL playoff quarterbacks. Top 5 NFL playoff quarterbacks. I'm going to go ahead and get us started.
Get us started.
Patrick Mahomes is number 1. He's the best quarterback in the National Football League, and the Chiefs are very lucky to have him. My Chiefs. Josh Allen at number 2. I put Josh Allen number 2.
Why'd you put Josh Allen number 2?
I don't know. Lamar Jackson should probably be number 2. What's the difference? But I don't know. Maybe I have more confidence in Josh Allen which I don't know why I do that either. But I put Josh Allen number 2 ahead of Lamar Jackson. Jaden Daniels. I love Jaden Daniels. I trust Jaden Daniels. I believe in the rookie quarterback, and I think he's going to be fantastic this weekend, and I think he's going to be great for a long time. I love Jaden Daniels. I put him at 4, and I'll put Matt Stafford, the old wily veteran, at number 5 as my top 5 quarterbacks. Lang?
All right, I started with Patrick Mahomes as well.
Mm-hmm.
I put Lamar Jackson number 2 like you said he should be.
Yeah.
I did not put Josh Allen on my list. Josh Allen is 5-5 career in the postseason.
Yeah, you're insane.
Last 3 years,
that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. That is one of the dumbest things ever.
He's
like,
I don't
even
1-1
care,
the
like,
last 3 years. So I'm going with Jared Goff at number 3 because Jared Goff.
Jordan
Goff has
Love
been
being
a
on this
tremendous
list and
quarterback
Josh Allen not.
for the Detroit Lions.
You
I'm going to
should
go
be
with Matt
banned from
Stafford at number 4,
speaking.
who won the Super Bowl a few years ago
Like-
with the Rams. And I got Jordan Love at number 5. CJ?
Good God.
I like your list, Lang.
Jared Goff.
Thank you.
Patrick Mahomes is 1. I got Allen 2
Hey,
as
wait, who do you
well.
have number 5?
Goff ahead of he's not ahead of Jackson. Also, is that
He wasn't
mine?
ahead of Jackson on my list either.
Is that wait?
You
Is that mine?
You had Justin Fields on your list.
I don't think that's mine.
You
did,
did.
yeah.
That's what
I
you
don't-
sent us. I remember when you sent us. I was
thought
like, all
I thought
right,
I said
CJ's
Hurts
just
in.
goofing.
Mine's is backward. Hurts should be there at 4.
Not Justin Fields.
not Justin Fields.
I mean, you might think
Not
Justin Fields.
It should, I thought it was Hurts. Why do I feel like it was Hurts? I know it goes there it is.
So Hurts is supposed to be
Hurts
4.
is supposed to
Okay.
be at 4.
All right.
I don't know why
You
I
could
picked
say
Fields.
Justin Fields is the 4th best quarterback in the playoffs.
I could, but that I'm not. I'm not. I don't think there's much difference in Allen and Jackson. And then Goff is on there because like the season he had warrants somebody being in there at 5, so I got Goff in there.
All right. And Hurts again.
And
at
Hurts
number 4.
not Fields. I
Okay.
can't believe I texted Fields and nobody was like, "Hey CJ, are you sure about that?"
I thought it was great.
You want to look at that? No, just send CJ out here to look like a jackass. Got Fields up there at number 4.
Rupser.
Patrick Mahomes number 1.
Wow, is your Chiefs ban over?
No, he sucks.
Oh.
I hate him. It's like, gosh. Josh Allen number 2. Josh Allen in the postseason has 2,723 passing yards. He's completed 65% of his passes, 21 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He also has 563 rushing yards, averages 7 yards a carry, and 5 rushing touchdowns. But sure, let's put Jordan Love on a list over Josh Allen in the playoffs.
Check this out. Josh
Roser
Allen
doesn't understand like ratings and trying to get be bombastic a little bit. Yeah.
Josh Allen.
Oh no, you did great for the TikTok. Great for the TikTok.
What's TikTok?
Something the U.S. government wants to ban.
Oh, man. We got to put Lang's picks on the local listings.
What else did I have? I don't even know what I had up there.
Put
What
my
did I
picks
even
on
have
the-
up
my
there?
picks are going to be on the local listings tomorrow.
Oh, Lamar Jackson.
Interspersed with the school closings.
See, I don't even, I probably should have put Stafford on there at 3. Like, Lamar Jackson.
Oh, no.
Lamar,
no. This list sucks.
he's awesome. Lamar Jackson's
This is the worst list
awesome.
I've ever seen. You
But
don't
Lamar
deserve
Jackson
to talk.
doesn't win in the playoffs. Oh, my list makes me
then
deserving
what
of
is this
talk.
crap?
I'm deserving of talk.
It was-
Right, but like they were the number 1 seed. Not impressive. Like Lamar's got postseason struggles. You know it. It's documented. Lamar's got postseason struggles.
Lamar's
If they play the
postseason
Chiefs.
struggles and Josh Allen's postseason struggles are because Patrick Mahomes is that great, right? You bring up Josh Allen being 5-5 in the playoffs.
No, but
against teams that don't have Patrick Mahomes. He's like 5-2.
No. But a couple years ago, when the Chiefs scored in like 13 seconds or what it was, that had nothing to do with Josh Allen. Like Josh Allen had an amazing game. Bro, Lamar Jackson was ass last year in that game. Like, it was Lamar that was bad.
how about
yes,
this?
he was.
Hold
they
on.
made him
He
throw
just
that
didn't-
ball.
They didn't make him. He just refused to run. He was not ass in that game.
He was
What
not
he
good.
was not.
You
He
did not watch that
was.
game and go, Lamar
He
Jackson was awesome.
Lamar
Jackson
Jackson
did not look like the MVP in that
Lamar
game.
Jackson
no,
has a
did not.
career record of 2-4 in the postseason. Josh Allen has a career record of 5-5. Patrick Mahomes has a career record of 15-3.
Well, that's why we have Mahomes number one. Like nobody's taking that away. Number one. And I don't know why I have Justin Herbert at 5. It was to be contrarian, but he ain't done shit either. So whatever. The truth is, there's Patrick Mahomes, there's Josh Allen, there's Lamar Jackson, there's Joe Burrow, and then there's a massive drop off in the NFL.
By the way, and
everybody is dependent upon who has who has a good offensive line and who has playmakers around them, and are they healthy?
You know who has a better postseason record than Josh Allen?
Who?
Jared Goff.
Oh yeah.
He's 5-4. Josh Allen's 5-5.
Josh Allen's 5-5.
How about that?
Lamar Jackson.
Man, if Josh Allen loses to the Broncos and a rookie quarterback this weekend,
Lamar Jackson in that game had over 300 yards of total offense and a touchdown, right? Like, what more do you want that man to do? If he just ran the ball a tad more, we'd be talking about him differently. He still rushed, even though he didn't run the ball, Rose, he rushed for 54 yards. Yeah, right? 8 carries on 54 yards, man. Like, what more do you want from him?
That was the thing. It started early in that game. I remember that AFC Championship game. It started early, and it was like they came out first downs. I want to know how many times they ran it on first down. That's a thing with Baltimore. Run the ball on first down, and it never felt like they did. If I remember that game right, like it felt like they came out and they were throwing on first down. Or if they got 1 yard, they would then just abandon it. But, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Ready for some picks?
Picks!
Let's get some picks. I'll start with our picks. I'm going with Penn State as my first pick, plus the 1.5 against Notre Dame. Penn State's covered 5 of their last 7. Jimmy Franklin wins the big one until next week when he's got the biggest one in his career.
Another big one.
Yeah, I'm going Ohio State minus the 6 against Texas. It feels like it's too easy, which scares me a little bit. But Ohio State, if they continue to play the way they've played the last couple of weeks, they will roll against Texas. Ravens minus the 10 against the Steelers. Ravens 5-1 against the spread their last 6. I don't think the number's big enough. I'm looking at like 35-10. Ravens roll over the Steelers. They continue their woes and lose their 5th straight game. Bills over the Broncos minus the 8.5. Not a big enough number there either. Buffalo 7-1 against the spread their last 8 against Denver. They're going to Buffalo. I think big game for Josh Allen. Big game for the Bills. And I'm taking the Commanders plus the 3 at the Bucks. The Commanders, I believe in the Commanders, and I believe in Jaden Daniels. I am a believer. I'm not a believer in the Bucs. I think they've been very average down the stretch of the season, especially with the Godwin injury since that happened. But they play really hard, which means I think they're just an average team. I think they play hard to make them decent. But I think the Commanders are a pretty good football team. I'm going with Washington plus the 3. Lang?
All right, I'm taking Notre Dame minus 1.5 against Penn State. I think Notre Dame's going to blow them out. But I think it's going to be low scoring. I think Notre Dame probably wins this thing, maybe 14-3, 21-10, something like that. I would take the under 2 if that's what you're into. Ohio State, I think this is the one where we see them put the smackdown on Texas, and we find out, this is it, man. Are you real or are you not? So I'll take Ohio State minus the 6. Ravens have won 4 games in a row. The Steelers have lost 4 games in a row. I'm going with the team that's hot and the team that keeps winning and the team that's not afraid to talk about the last 4 weeks of the season, because we all saw Russell Wilson refuse to talk about the past. He said he didn't want to talk about the past.
Talk about the past.
That's what he said.
Freaking Rafael Palmeiro?
Mark McGwire.
Yeah.
Or was it Palmeiro?
It was Palmeiro.
Yeah,
I'm not here to talk about the past.
All those cheaters. And then we got the Washington Commanders and the Buccaneers. I think the Commanders win this straight up. The Buccaneers' defense has not been as good this year as it has been in past years. I think only 6 interceptions all season. And so I'll take Jaden Daniels to run and pass and to run all over this Buccaneers team. And then we talked about recency bias. I think that's in play here with the Vikings. I'm taking Sam Darnold and his loser DNA, and I think they're going to beat the Rams by more than 1.5.
All right.
TJ.
I will take Penn State plus the 1.5 against Notre Dame. Low scoring game. I like what you're saying, Lang. Take the under. Under is probably the better play here, but I'll unfortunately roll with the Nittany Lions. I will take Texas and Ohio State on the over. Both of these teams against Power 5 teams are averaging right around 30 points per game. I think Ohio State is at 32, Texas is at like 29.6. So you add that together, that'll get you the over. Also, they're right around 30 points per game against Power 5 teams with winning records. So I think this is going to be a high-scoring affair. Should be a fun one to watch. I will take the Steelers plus the 10 against the Ravens. It's hard for me to envision this Steelers team losing in a game like this by double digits. So I will take the Steelers plus the 10 there. I like this Eagles team a ton. I will take them laying the 4.5 against the Packers, and I think that 8.5 number is much too high for Broncos, Bills. So I'm on the Broncos plus the 8.5.
All right, Roser.
All right. Notre Dame minus the 1. It's 1.5 now. Minus 1.5. Ohio State, Texas over the 53.5. Even the Ohio State Oregon game, Ohio State beat the crap out of them. That game went over. Like there's enough scoring there. Ohio State can score enough. I think Texas can score enough. I think we get over the 53.5. I'm going to take the Steelers plus the 10.
Oh, no.
It's weird as hell, but I'm going to take it. I'm with CJ on the Ohio State Texas over, the Steelers plus the 10, the Eagles minus the 4.5, and I'm going to take the Rams plus 1.5. And I'm going to leave you with this. Lamar Jackson has 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson is awesome. He's awesome, and he's a 2-time MVP, and very well, if he won his 3rd MVP this year, it would be deserving. But he has not been as good in the playoffs. 6 touchdowns, 6 picks, 1,324 passing yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns, in the playoffs. The Baltimore Ravens ran the ball in that AFC Championship game last year 16 times. Do you know how many rushing attempts the Baltimore Ravens averaged per game last year?
23.
32.
Do you know
32.
Do you know who wasn't on the Ravens last year?
16 in that game.
Derrick Henry.
Exactly. Derrick Henry has been a massive difference for him and opened up a ton for Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is awesome. But if we do want to sit here and say you are in this echelon and you have to do it in the playoffs, every quarterback has to. Josh Allen has to also. But Josh Allen does have 21 touchdowns and 4 interceptions in the playoffs. That's real. And the truth is, maybe Mahomes is that awesome, and none of them are good enough.
For what it's worth, I think also for the Ravens, Todd Monken's been a lot better this year. Like their offensive coordinator, he's been way better at calling plays.
Their offense was great last year, and they got to that AFC title game, and it's like
we're
just not going to run the ball.
You know
and
who stole no interception in the playoffs? Justin Fields. That's why he came in number 4.
Justin Fields.
No,
Mike Tomlin.
No,
because every week you mess up the
usually put something
instructions.
ridiculous on the
so
list.
we figured it was
do.
intentional. We didn't know.
Mike Tomlin, you're not afraid.
I think
If Russ Wilson screws up early, don't be afraid to give him that
I responded to
hook.
Roser's because Roser
don't be
had Joe
afraid.
Burrow on his list.
I did have Joe Burrow.
I almost left that one,
By
too.
the way, that's just me wishing Joe Burrow would be in the playoffs. Screw you, Broncos.
Yeah.
Should have let the Chiefs win.
All right, anybody got free picks for tonight?
The Chiefs were never letting Denver. They were never going to win that game. They're not going to let Burrow get in the playoffs.
I got a hater parlay. We'll take in men's basketball, Oregon plus 2.5 against Ohio State, even though teams traveling in the Big Ten so far this season from the West Coast to Big Ten territory hadn't fared all that well. I'm going to buck that trend with Oregon plus a 2.5, and I will take Washington plus a 13.5 against Michigan State. I hate Michigan State and Ohio State so very, 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 very much.
All right. Anybody else? Roser? Lang?
No.
I got a couple. Roser, you can keep looking. On the hardwood, I got Rutgers plus a 1.5 against Purdue.
I like that.
Didn't you have Rutgers on Monday?
No, wait, that line's flipped.
How'd that work?
I'm pretty sure that line has
I had
flipped. Wait, you
Georgia
like
on Monday and it
Rutgers?
didn't- I had Kentucky this week and I was wrong.
Hey, Rob, what did you get Rutgers at?
1.5.
Oh, it's 3.5 now.
It's Purdue's at 3.5. You can get them plus 3.5.
Take it. Take
Plus
it.
3.5.
Rutgers plus 3.5. Also on the ice tonight, we'll go New Jersey and the Rangers under 6.5. New Jersey and the Rangers under 6.5. And we'll do Edmonton, a 60-minute 3-way bet at Pittsburgh as well. You'll get that about 130, 120.
I like.
minus 120.
No, I'm going Penguins plus 1.5 on the puck line.
Oh, all right.
Plus 1.5.
Dancing
Go
on the puck
Pens.
line.
Go Pitt. Sid the kid, not a kid anymore. He's like 38 years old.
Yeah.
Crosby's still good. Crosby's still good.
It's amazing.
He
he's still
had some
playing.
trouble scoring goals, I heard, but the assist numbers, like.
And Ovechkin's still scoring.
Yeah, Ovechkin is, dude,
crazy.
he is going to
gotta be
break
like
Wayne
50, right?
Gretzky's.
Like,
Yeah,
He's going to break
Gretzky's
Wayne
record.
Gretzky's goal record.
Which is
He'll
crazy.
never break Wayne Gretzky's points record.
No.
Like nobody will
Nobody
ever come
will.
close to that. But
He'll never be as handsome either.
No, that's the great one. Yeah. All right. That'll do it for us here on The Odds Couple today. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back with you again on a Monday for our Monday edition of the program, which gets underway at 2 o'clock and is live as well.
Live.
So tune in Mondays and Thursdays here on The Odds Couple. For CJ, Roser, Lang, I'm Fish. Thank you for joining us. Best of luck with your bets this weekend. Enjoy all the games, and we'll talk to you Monday here on The Odds Couple on Grind City Media.